Nate Diaz is more than a fighter. He's a phenomenon. From the streets of Stockton, California, to the bright lights of the UFC octagon, Diaz has carved a legacy defined by grit, defiance, and unrelenting skill. His near knockout of Leon Edwards in a thrilling fifth round at UFC 263 showcased his enduring prowess, proving he remains a force at the apex of mixed martial arts. With a career spanning iconic victories over Michael Johnson, Tony Ferguson, Anthony Pettis, Donald Cerrone, and Conor McGregor, Diaz delivers fireworks every time he steps into the cage. A pioneer of the sport, he's the coolest competitor in the game, unafraid to challenge anyone, even his boss. Join us as we dive into the fights that cemented Nate Diaz's legend, celebrating a warrior who never backs down and always surprises. The Stockton Standard, Diaz's rise to stardom. Born on April 16, 1985, Nathan Donald Diaz grew up in Stockton, a gritty city that shaped his relentless spirit. Training alongside his older brother, Nick Diaz, a fellow MMA icon, Nate honed his Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu under Cesar Gracie, earning a black belt that would become his signature weapon. His UFC debut in 2007, after winning the Ultimate Fighter 5 at lightweight, marked the arrival of a fighter unafraid to brawl or submit opponents with equal ferocity. Diaz's style, high-volume striking, relentless pressure, and slick grappling, made him a fan favorite, while his unfiltered persona, complete with middle-finger salutes and profanity-laced call-outs, endeared him to those who craved authenticity. Diaz's career has been a roller coaster of triumphs and setbacks, but his ability to defy expectations defines him. By 2015, he was at a crossroads, having lost a lightweight title fight to Rafael dos Anjos, suffered a TKO to Josh Thompson, and struggled against top-tier competition. Yet, Diaz's resilience shone through as he turned adversity into opportunity, delivering performances that etched his name in MMA history. Let's explore 5 defining fights that showcase why Nate Diaz remains a legend. Michael Johnson, 2015, the Comeback King. In December 2015, Nate Diaz faced Michael Johnson at UFC on Fox 17, a pivotal moment in his career. Coming off losses and stuck in a lightweight division stacked with talent, Diaz was a plus 325 underdog against the number 6 ranked Johnson, a dynamic striker with a 4-1 record in his last 5 fights. Johnson, fresh off a controversial split decision loss to Beneil Dariush, saw the fight as a stepping stone to title contention. For Diaz, it was a chance to silence doubters and reclaim his place among the elite. The fight was a masterclass in Diaz's signature style. From the opening bell, he peppered Johnson with crisp 1-2 combinations, his lanky frame and high output overwhelming the faster, more explosive Johnson. Diaz's relentless pace and taunting demeanor, pointing at Johnson mid-fight, rattled his opponent, who grew visibly frustrated. The simplicity of Diaz's striking, built on repetitive yet effective 1-2s, was likened to a grandmother insistently offering food, impossible to resist and exhausting to endure. By the 3rd round, Johnson was wilting, his counters ineffective against Diaz's volume. The unanimous decision victory was a statement. Diaz, the underdog, outstruck and outclassed Johnson, proving his durability and skill. Post-fight, he delivered a now iconic call-out, targeting Conor McGregor with a profanity-laced tirade that set the stage for one of MMA's biggest rivalries. The win revitalized Diaz's career, reminding the world that Stockton's finest was far from finished. Tony Ferguson, 2022, a legendary showdown. By 2022, both Nate Diaz and Tony Ferguson were past their primes, but their UFC 279 clash was a testament to their enduring appeal. Originally slated to face the surging Khamzat Chimaev, a matchup many viewed as a deliberate mismatch by the UFC to humiliate Diaz before his contract expired, Diaz was spared when Chimaev missed weight by a staggering 7.5 pounds. In a chaotic last-minute reshuffle, Diaz faced Ferguson, who was set to fight Li Jingliang, while Chimaev was paired with Kevin Holland. The bizarre swap, one of the most surreal in UFC history, gave fans a dream fight between two fan-favorite veterans. Ferguson, once a feared lightweight with a 12-fight win streak, had lost 4 straight bouts, his unorthodox style diminished by age and wear. Diaz, at 37, was no longer the relentless machine of his prime, but remained dangerous. The fight was a one-sided affair. Diaz's crisp boxing and relentless pressure exposed Ferguson's sluggishness, with jabs and body shots accumulating damage. In the 4th round, Diaz locked in a guillotine choke, submitting Ferguson with ease, leaving El Chuchuy bloodied and defeated. The victory was a poetic capstone. Diaz, unscathed, walked away from the UFC that night, his contract fulfilled with no clear plans to return. If it was his final MMA fight, he exited on his terms, dominating a legend and proving his heart and skill remained intact. The Stockton faithful roared 209 in approval, celebrating a warrior who never compromised. Anthony Pettis, 2019, the return of a showman. After his 2016 rematch loss to Conor McGregor, Diaz took a 3-year hiatus, basking in the millions earned from those blockbuster fights. His return at UFC 241 in August 2019 against Anthony Showtime Pettis was a high-stakes comeback. Pettis, a former lightweight champion, had stunned fans by knocking out Stephen Thompson earlier that year, reasserting his star power. Diaz, hungry for a big name, saw Pettis as the perfect foil, their long-standing rivalry adding fuel to the matchup. The fight was vintage Diaz. At welterweight, his durability and cardio shone as he battered Pettis with strikes in the clinch and on the feet. In the 3rd round, Diaz nearly finished the fight, overwhelming Pettis with a flurry of punches and knees that left the former champion reeling. Pettis, known for his flash, couldn't match Diaz's relentless output, and the unanimous decision went to Stockton's finest. Post-fight, Diaz's call-out was pure theater. Declaring himself the baddest motherfucker in the game, he challenged Jorge Masvidal, praising his gangster credentials while asserting his own West Coast supremacy. The call-out birthed the inaugural BMF title fight at UFC 244, further cementing Diaz's status as a cultural icon. Against Pettis, he proved he could still hang with the elite, his showmanship as potent as ever. Donald Cowboy Cerrone, 2011, the Underdog's triumph. In December 2011, at UFC 141, Nate Diaz faced Donald Cowboy Cerrone, a lightweight contender on a 3-fight win streak, eyeing a title shot. Cerrone, a -235 favorite, was known for his versatile striking and grappling, while Diaz, a +235 underdog, was coming off a loss to Rory McDonald. The matchup seemed tailor-made for Cowboy to shine, but Diaz had other plans. From the outset, Diaz's boxing overwhelmed Cerrone. His 1-2 combinations, delivered with surgical precision, targeted Cerrone's head and body, leaving his nose bloodied and morale shattered. Diaz's relentless pace and trademark middle finger gestures mid-fight further demoralized Cowboy, who struggled to find answers. The judges scored at 30-27 for Diaz, a shutout that showcased his ability to dominate even the most formidable opponents. The win was a turning point, propelling Diaz back into lightweight contention and proving his doubters wrong. Post-fight, he vowed to keep improving, his work ethic as fierce as his in-cage antics. The victory over Cerrone remains a highlight of Diaz's early career, a reminder never to underestimate the Stockton underdog. Conor McGregor, 2016, the upset of the century. No fight defines Nate Diaz's legacy like his UFC 196 clash with Conor McGregor on March 5, 2016. Stepping in on 11 days' notice to replace an injured Rafael dos Anjos, Diaz faced a brash, unbeaten featherweight champion at welterweight. McGregor, oozing confidence, predicted a quick knockout, dismissing Diaz's chances. The MMA world agreed, with Diaz a massive underdog against the notorious superstar. What unfolded was one of the greatest upsets in UFC history. McGregor's early strikes landed, but Diaz's iron chin absorbed them without flinching. As Conor tired, Diaz's 1-2s found their mark, staggering McGregor in the 2nd round. Sensing weakness, Diaz pounced, forcing McGregor to shoot for a desperate takedown. It was a fatal mistake. Diaz, a jiu-jitsu wizard, locked in a rear-naked choke, submitting McGregor in under 30 seconds of groundwork. The arena erupted, and Diaz's post-fight declaration, "I'm not surprised, motherfuckers," became an instant classic. The victory catapulted Diaz to global stardom, proving he could topple even the biggest names. The rematch at UFC 202, a 5-round war, saw McGregor edge out a majority decision, but Diaz's performance solidified his legend. Against McGregor, he showed the world what Stockton heart looks like. The Diaz difference, a cultural icon. Nate Diaz's impact transcends wins and losses. His unapologetic authenticity, swearing at press conferences, flipping off opponents, and calling out the UFC's brass, resonates with fans who see him as a rebel against the sports corporate machine. His Stockton slap, a taunting strike popularized with his brother Nick, is a symbol of his defiance. Diaz's refusal to play by the UFC's rules, coupled with his willingness to fight anyone, anywhere, has made him a folk hero. His versatility is unmatched. A black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, Diaz has 12 submission victories, including chokes against Ferguson and McGregor. His boxing, while simple, is brutally effective, with a career strike count exceeding 2,000 in the UFC. His cardio, often described as superhuman, allows him to outlast opponents, as seen in his near finish of Leon Edwards in 2021. Even in defeat, Diaz's durability shines, having never been knocked out in over 30 professional fights. Diaz's influence extends beyond the octagon. His BMF title fight with Masvidal in 2019, though a loss via doctor stoppage, created a new UFC legacy, with the belt symbolizing the baddest fighters. His ventures into boxing, including a 2023 bout against Jake Paul, reflect his desire to forge his own path. Whether he returns to MMA or not, Diaz's legacy is secure, his name synonymous with heart and hustle. A legacy forged in fire. Nate Diaz is the embodiment of the underdog spirit. From his upset of McGregor to his domination of Ferguson, Pettis, Cerrone, and Johnson, he's proven time and again that rankings and odds mean nothing when the cage door closes. His fights are wars, each one a testament to his unbreakable will and Stockton pride. At 40, Diaz remains a threat, his near knockout of Edwards a reminder that he's still among the elite. The MMA world owes much to Diaz. He's a pioneer who helped elevate the sport's raw, unfiltered appeal, inspiring a generation of fighters to embrace their authenticity. His fans, chanting 209 and flooding comment sections with Stockton, see him as more than a fighter. He's a symbol of resilience in a world that demands conformity. As we reflect on his career, one truth stands out. Nate Diaz doesn't just fight. He lives for the battle, and that's why he'll always be a legend. What's your favorite Nate Diaz moment? Drop Stockton in the comments, hit that like button, and subscribe for more tributes to MMA's greatest warriors. The 209's finest isn't done yet. Catch you in the next one.